Hello everyone, my name is Roya and I'm coming to you with a fabulous new angle to show off my beautiful bookshelf. This is seriously like the first time I've ever had an actual bookshelf in my adult life, so I'm super stoked. So my books don't have to be in like piles and whatnot, they can be in fabulous rows on a beautiful shelf. And right now there's a gap right here because that's where most of the books that I'm going to show you in this book haul were before I took them off to show them to you. So, without further ado, this is my February book haul. The first two books that I have to show you, and the only two that were not like $1 or $2 at a used place, are Endymion and The Rise of Endymion by Dan Simmons. And these are the third and fourth books in the Hyperion Cantos. And I really liked the first two, and I seriously can't wait to get into these ones. But this is a book that if you like epic sci-fi at all, you're gonna love these books, I bet you. Next four books that I have to show you are all Stephen King books, which is great because it's been way too long since I read any of Stephen King's books. I've read a ton of them before, but I just haven't in a while. Firstly, we have The Green Mile, and I really wanted to read this one because Problems of a Book Nerd says that this one's really good. And then Bag of Bones, which is one that I've never even heard of. So I have no idea what this one's about at all. And in my experience, that's kind of the best way to go into a Stephen King book, is completely blind, because that is how I read 11/22/63 by Stephen King, and that is probably one thing that contributed to my making that book my favorite Stephen King book. So we'll see how I think about this one. Then I got Cell by Stephen King. I always thought that this was about, you know, like a jail cell, like that kind of cell, but clearly it has a phone on it and it says your number is up on it. So I'm assuming that it's about cell phone cell. So I don't know. And finally I got Mr. Mercedes, and I have no idea what this one's about either. Funny enough, that one actually came with The Litigators by John Grisham, because they were two for $1. And I knew I'd never read John Grisham before, but I've been wanting to, so I was like, well, they're two for $1, so I might as well get this one too. Then I got The Carpet People by Terry Pratchett, and I have actually never read any Terry Pratchett before. I'm very ashamed of this fact because I love fantasy so much, and yet I've never read Terry Pratchett. Like, how is that a thing? At least I don't think I have. And so this was $1, and he actually wrote this before he wrote the Discworld series, which is pretty interesting, and it has some like illustrations and whatnot that he actually did himself in this. And I mean, as a writer slash artist, I am so all for like authors who do their own illustrations. I think that's just so awesome. Then I got The Lady Elizabeth by Alison Ware, and the only Alison Ware book I've ever read before is the one she wrote about Jane Grey. And it was good, so I just really wanted to read this one. And then I got Midnight and the Garden of Good and Evil, and this is one that I actually been meaning to read for like a long time, and so, you know, I saw this for $1, I had no excuse not to get it. And finally, probably the biggest steal of them all is The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith, who, as probably a lot of you guys know by now, is J.K. Rowling under a pen name. And I have not even read the first book in this series yet, but this is the second one. I couldn't turn it down. A $3 like new-ish book in a series that I'd been meaning to read, like. And so from what I understand, this is a crime fiction series, and I love mystery books and detective stories and all kinds of stuff. I mean, Raymond Chandler is my favorite author. I can't not love mystery stories. So I had been really wanting to read this, and so now I have an excuse to like read the whole thing freaking now, and I actually got the first one from the library today, so hopefully I'll get started on that soon. These are the books that I got. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!